just say your name and your profession, please?
Yeah. I'm Christian Smith. I'm a registered nutritionist working for Sports Lab at Canterbury Christchurch University.
What is it in a whey shake that is beneficial to its users?
So a whey shake is, as the name suggests, it's stripped back, so it's just the whey protein. Whey protein is faster digesting than other proteins, so it's designed to create the maximum spike in what you call muscle protein synthesis. So the idea is that after you finish the workout, you have this fast digesting protein and it starts to repair your muscles much quicker, and that's the idea behind that.
What about a casein shake? Casein? How do you say it?
So casein.
Casein.
So casein is the same as whey, is also found in milk and dairy products, but casein is the slower digest variant of the protein. So casein is often the dominant protein found in like overnight proteins, just because it's much slower digesting, creates a more gradual release of that protein.
Who would use a casein shake?
I suppose they're relevant to any athletes, whereas the whey protein might sometimes be more uptaken by guys that are doing, or guys or girls that are doing lots of gym work and want to get like a really fast recovery before the next gym session. Whereas casein, I've seen that used amongst a much wider variety of athletes, just because they want to maximise the sort of inter-day recovery while they're asleep.
What about weight loss supplements?
Okay. Do you want me to say about like diet proteins?
Yeah, go ahead.
So diet proteins are often marketed as a kind of quick fix. And the main thing about protein is that it keeps you fuller longer. So rather than actually being ingredients that help you lose weight, the effect of the protein itself might help you stay fuller, so you're snacking less and lose weight. But the problem with those sort of weight loss diet lean proteins, they often contain other stuff, not even illegal ingredients or dodgy ingredients, but just things like green tea extract and quite a lot of caffeine. Some of the lean ones have caffeine in them. So rather than actually helping you lose weight, they just act as a laxative, if you like. So they clear your system out. So yeah, they're not always the best.
What are the actual health benefits of taking protein shakes for athletes?
For athletes, it's predominantly to maximise recovery. And I think most of the time it's to ensure that they're meeting their protein target. I think quite a lot of athletes find it much easier to have protein shakes because it's much easier to quantify how much you're actually having in grams. So if their nutritionist has given them a target, they know that if they have 4 protein shakes throughout the day, they'll be hitting that target. But then obviously that's dangerous because it encourages them to be lazy and not to look for that in their diet.
Lawrence Charlet told me that it should never take place with a meal protein shake.
Yeah.
But I spoke to a boxer called Josh Kennedy, but he said that he does, when it's closer to his fight, he does take a protein shake instead of a meal.
Okay.
Is it because he's more of a fitness athlete than Lawrence, or is there any benefit to him doing that as opposed to Lawrence not doing that?
I agree on a level to both points. Obviously, as a practitioner, I agree much more with what Lawrence is saying. I often say athletes, you have to make a cake before you can ice it. So you need that strong foundation. And then if you find that you need supplements, if they're absolutely strictly necessary, they might just help you hit either nutrient targets or recovery targets. For the boxer, I would say it's still really important to have that dietary foundation. If you kind of swap from having a meal to just a protein shake, you're also missing out on a lot of other nutrients, particularly like the carbs and fats and the macronutrients, if he's not having a kind of complete shake. But he might find that practicality-wise, it keeps his weight lower, so he might find it easier to have the liquid-based foods. So as usual, it's about kind of working with each individual athlete. So sometimes it might be necessary to have those shakes if it's more practical or more tolerable to them.
Okay. So when should they be taken for maximum benefit for both Lawrence and Josh?
I suppose the primary time you'd say is immediately post-training. That's when your muscles are broken down, they're sort of damaged, if you like, which is obviously the aim of the training, and you want to start repairing those proteins in your muscles as soon as possible. But then the common misconception is always that when you finish exercising, even really heavy gym work that you might not think would need any carbs at all, carbs are actually more important to get in than the protein. The protein actually just helps delivering the carbs back to the muscles, and that's what really kicks off recovery more. So yeah, whereas protein is a very important part of recovery, but it's certainly not the be-all and end-all.
Okay. Would you say protein shakes, I know you said people use them because they use it, but are they totally necessary when there's such large amounts of different foods that we can import?
No.
Or is it just to supplement anything that they don't have?
They're certainly not completely necessary. I would always advise an athlete on their diet based on real foods, based on foods they like, before I would ever think about shakes. The only times recently I've actually recommended they look at having a shake is when, say, they're a busy uni student that also, say, take a triathlon athlete, for instance. If they're having to train 3 times a day and attend lectures and do everything else involved with just having a normal life, things that supplements like shakes might be necessary just so they are hitting those targets. But if you've got the time to have proper meals and good sort of food availability, I would always go for food first.
Okay, last question. What are the negative effects that could come from having protein shakes?
I think from a sort of body physiological point of view, some guys experience like bloating, gut issues, but I'd say that's more of an issue with the quality of the supplement. Because when you're buying protein, you can't always guarantee that it's a decent quality, well manufactured supplement, which is another issue really. I'd say mainly it just encourages laziness. It stops people sort of thinking about what they're eating. Like I said, if they know they can get their day's protein from 4 shakes, they're not necessarily going to be thinking about having a good, high quality portion of protein at each meal. So I'd say, rather than any of the health negatives, there aren't many serious health negatives if you're taking a decent quality protein, but I'd say it just encourages laziness.
Is there anything on the market that is like the best of both worlds, like that are healthy, like actual meals, but also give you the protein benefits?
There are supplements coming out. There's one that is fairly well balanced, sort of for all macronutrients, so it's got decent, well-sourced protein, carbs and fats in it. that one's about the best I've seen.
Okay, what's it called?
That one's called Huel.
Okay.
Huel. And I know a couple of athletes that travel. I know a guy that does Ironman, that when he goes off and travels to corners of the world to compete, he knows that that isn't going to upset his stomach. So when he goes away to compete, he lives off that, which obviously isn't perfect, but that's what he's used to and that's tolerable for him. But apart from that, I don't think there are any sort of decent, well-balanced ones that I can think of, or that I would trust particularly.
Okay. No, thank you very much.
Great, thanks very much.